Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. 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 Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Commando. Deadeye. Commando. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Sentinel. Saboteur. Sentinel. Sentinel. Saboteur. Psy-Freak. Commando. Commando chosen. Pick a Sentinel. Saboteur. Sentinel. Saboteur. Sentinel. Saboteur. Psy-Freak. Commander. Deadeye. Commander. Sentinel. Deadeye. Cypher. Commando, Deadeye. Command, Deadeye. Deadeye chosen. Pick a command. Sense Saboteur, Cypher. Saboteur. Command Deadeye. Deadeye chosen. Sounds good. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice, a reflection of your ki, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you, your inner voice to be precise, an echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me. But I'll be here waiting for you when you have a change of heart.
That thing? I'm right here. Let me remind you...
Better half. My way is both better and brighter. Light makes it easier to see the best end.
The best end is the one you decide yourself. And it seems we're headed...
Right is always right. Guess left can be right sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die. Wow! Pull, go on! The oil sludge is everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. One down. Flash the slash. Cutting edge. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. It's time to find a way out. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress, blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being. When absorbed, including you. Those are the kind of things you need. Looks like you've got this. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks travelled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came locked up tight. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world was. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Quite a shock to the system. Let's try that again. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Chop it up. Cut that one down. Made it count. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before battle. Might not need that now, but you will later. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is... The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to... It's a scar you're covering under that eye. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma... He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find... It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma... Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder. The Nono prefer to hide in... The Nono's key energy is only time. You'll need a net to catch the Nono. You handle. One day, you can already. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. That's not true. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now the tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. Records tell of the ruinous devastation that Toxanol Corp. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his Octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. The road ahead won't be easy. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the... He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues. He doesn't know what you're connected. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged.
That's a spark of light in you!
That's right. Smack that spark out before it starts.
You don't have to be so harsh. It's such a little spark.
Take it out now while it's small.
There's always another spark.
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date knows you'll... Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Loma utulu ba yu beboko kontabe tulua ba volua.
He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part.
Loa tolu dum, lotu lu ba ye mufu.
Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Cautions you that the Sifu may be a little
Zata is de moi tot loho. Kariesne statse. Paro, ya put.
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The wall that separates them from the other side, the wasteland you came from. He guesses the time spent there just left a blank space in your memory, as There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for Your Muma invented The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become... Says fear and hatred is the only path to domination, but you already know that. So embracing that side of you and helping them vanquish the tribes and letting the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life should be an easy decision. He expected you'd join them. You understand that the universe runs on the principle that the one who dominates others runs the show. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can vanquish the other tribes. The one he wants... Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost bruises and broken bone, but they refuse to be the victim here. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both share dark thoughts, so they want to wage a war. A war where all that's left behind is casualties.
O visoko dolatsi ne mali muzamit.
Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts.
Nibira?
Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory,
Mali muzamit. El novazi ale dlohodo.
The only kin who count are the kin that are left standing at the end of the war.
Ide moi.
Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village.
Yete rekle ide moi.
He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good.
Karies ne zdatse. Zivot yaput.
Anyway, you'll pass your old village on your way to the first rival outpost, but we've got no time to be sentimental. War doesn't wait.
Donzadne?
He can't blame you for not remembering, but he can sense the stillness. The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort.
Cliff Lifton.
Says you... Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Bullets everywhere. Get out of here. Dead on. Middle-lifed. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. Look at those muscles. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Goop says he always does better whenever he leaves failure behind. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. He thinks you should really know how to swim by now. And he... He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? He says a feeling that you're going to drown, but you need practice, lots of practice. Great things usually happen to those who... You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. You can never try too hard. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. She's not unhappy with your progress, but you still have a lot to prove. You should know, practice makes perfect. She'll see you at the village square. She says that's good. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. He's learned that things are never as... He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. You should look for things that are recyclable. He wonders what usefulness you found. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. That's the... He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found... You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon. You're not in this world to live up to his expectations, but he hopes you're never going to have to use that weapon of yours. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away. Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent hardship on nature. She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. She won't live forever, you know that. But she intends to make the most of every day she gets. You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. She worries about you. Sometimes you get lost in your own world, where the... They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He says that it's not too late for you to turn back, though. There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. They push each other to become better, and sometimes someone gets pushed down along the way. She asks if you're hurt. What happened? She's there for all disciples. That's her commitment as Sifu, and when she needs them, they're there for her and each other. The most important thing is that you're okay. It's time to focus on your training now. You... Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle some old fabrics. He's curious to see what you've found.
Sedain Yahweh.
He's all for...
Padam wakomo nashvaya over bugbug ah.
He can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upcycle.
Inta padam farujudo.
Thinks some are and some aren't. One thing's for sure, though.
Mushtaq bala.
He says it's about time you learned how and offers to teach you, starting with the scrap you found. The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you. Agrees. You should take it with you, wear it to practice.
Will she like?
He's looking forward to seeing what... Your Muma says it's about time you got here. She says she is eager to get started. You don't have much time left, but there's enough time left for repetition, and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back. Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you. Thanks you for being... Been working on a present for you. You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it. Catchy. Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus as green as this little thing. She's happy you appreciate. A piece of Scraptronics like this has built... It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired to your DNA. It'll follow wherever you go and see whatever you see. You're lucky to...
Andro?
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Yo no massa man barut.
Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupa Lupin from setting the world on fire.
Ancora. Can see.
Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it. Your Muma says this is it. The time has come. She must fight Lupa Lupin. This time... He wants to destroy her. The time to fight is coming, whether she's ready for it or not. Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was chosen to lead. She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you. History. She loves how brave you are, but she can't be worrying about you while she fights. This is her. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Your Muma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the... Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity, when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff Hulk's on the loose. It was harder than expected to take down the Fluff Hulk. They've received news a Ronin joined the tribe's ranks and were looking forward to meet. A group of Jagni warriors are already waiting. You should hurry there and help them storm the outpost. That you chose